Hello, it's Andy, and I'm actually just made a start on the actual concrete pad that I'm going to do, which I've discussed in other videos. Now, with this pad, I do know where I'm digging. The gravel and what's been done has been done for a reason. Historically, this is like an ex-council house that we've bought, so we do know there is all manner of anything in anything. You know, it literally could be anything underneath there. I do know where the services run, so I can't interfere with those. That is another story. I do have a story about that because during COVID I did have major drain issues, but I'll discuss that at some other point. But yeah, I'm moving gravel now so I can get some hardcore down and make a concrete pad or a base that we can actually use. And I'll just show you. Right, I did do a pretty unsafe bodge of repairing that wheelbarrow. It's serviceable for myself, but it's not as it should be. Obviously, I've used the tipping bar, which goes out the front, as a support for a leg that broke off. Wholly and solely not the right thing to do, but for me it's got the wheelbarrow usable again. I don't recommend you do that. It's not safe. I've only done it just as I don't want to spend money on a wheelbarrow measure, but you should have a bar coming there which you can tip the wheelbarrow up on to allow you to tip out forward without it running back on yourself with the wheel. So yeah, don't copy what I've done there. That's just me doing an absolute bodge, and it is unsafe. But I've got the wheelbarrow for myself on my own property and my own uses working. But that being said, you can see what I'm doing here. I'm digging out what is this particular gravelled area. It's dead ground to us, you can't use it for nothing, hence that's why we got trampoline there, and usually all odds and sods and things that need to go to the dump sit over in that corner. I've made a start, I've shovelled some of this out just to see what's underneath there, bit of an exploration really. And if you get down here you can see there's the remnants. It's not even proper liner to inhibit growth of weeds. It's just basically dumpy bags that's been sliced around and put on top. Underneath it, as you can see, there's just about any and everything there. I'm not going to disturb underneath there because I don't need to. So as you can see, I've got this distance which I'm going to bring it up around here. So obviously I'm not going to do a complete pad of this thickness. It's going to be hardcore, a small layer of hardcore to level it out, and then the top couple inches will be concrete, and then like a scree coat put over the top just to make a very smooth workable surface for ourselves. But yeah, as you can see, I've got a lot of work here to do, and I'm going to crack on. Well, welcome back. It's another day. Yeah, it started to get a bit damp, and looking out over the valleys I could see rain coming forward. I knew rain was on the way, so I turned the camera off and I cracked on, and I'll take you out and let you see what I've achieved so far. But I've got to go to the Salvation Army to drop several bags of clothes in to their drop-off points to recycle and repurpose. They take the clothes in like big containers left outside a local supermarket. You can put your clothes in there, and it goes off to whatever they do with it. I don't know if it gets repurposed as in clothes format, or whether it's made into some, I don't know, but anyway, you can take your clothes there and the Salvation Army do what they do with it. So I'm going to drop several bags off there. I then have to make my way to another local Cornish, well, it is almost a tradition to go to Trego Mills if you're living in Cornwall or you're visiting Cornwall. Trego Mills is part of the landscape. There are other supermarkets or hardware centres, shall I say, but yeah, I've got to go there. I'm getting some wood to make some shuttering, and I'll quickly show you that. Yeah, so and on top of that, I've promised to get the kids out for a little run or walk this afternoon. So I'm going to push on with these particular chores I got to do, then I can get and spend a little bit of time with the kids. But boy, shoveling that gravel and moving all that hardcore, I woke up this morning, I did actually feel it. Since leaving the military 2 years ago, I hike and I surf, but I don't do any real, shall we say, fizz, if I can use that word, or workouts. So obviously when you do something like that for an afternoon, yeah, you wake up a little bit sore and you feel it. So yeah, hats off to anybody, particularly my age, who's still doing that on a daily basis. Yeah, so I'll take you out and have a quick little look. Yeah, so I was glad I actually cracked on and got what I needed to do here done, you know, while it was dry, because this gravel, even though it's gravel, all the dirt from the kids and that, when they're running over it, once you start disturbing it, it goes through the house. We've got slate floors, but you know, it's still dirt that ends up being transported into the house. So yeah, I'll just show you quickly what's actually happening here. Right, as you can see, I've just chucked in a load of hardcore. I've got to move it around. I've got some building up the far end, which was the deepest end. And as you can see, I've got it up to about here. But you can see the line where I've dug down. And you can see roughly the pad I'm going to make. Now you can see underneath here all this bag material that they put, which sits on top of a load of other hardcore, rubble and anything I should imagine. Cats come over. But as you can see, I'm down probably about 4 inches into the gravel, and basically I've got to get shuttering to go all the way around over to there to hold the concrete, which is going to obviously be the pad. But then I've got to level all this hardcore out and then go from there to the point of mixing the concrete and also leveling it all out. But you can see I've dug it all out. I've got some big piles of gravel here, all along here, and this was a massive concrete slab. It's probably about 6 feet long, and this particular slab is what would be the construction for my actual house, because it's of a non-standard construction. It's like beams with concrete slats like this. They weigh an absolute ton, but these probably came out of my shed back here when somebody did the extensions to it, not myself. It was already in place when we bought the place, or when they took it out to put this, they would have taken those slats out, those concrete slats, put in thermalite blocks, and then put a load of cladding on for heat retention and to make it slightly more modern. But yeah, these here weigh an absolute ton. But as you can see, this is where I'm to now, and I've got to go and get shuttering. Right, I did actually take the hardcore from down here, and you can see it's left a bit of a scar in the hedge. So fruit trees are starting to come to life, really looking vibrant. But yeah, I took all the hardcore from here, and you can see the scar it's left there. That will grow back to nature. Only one hole I found, and I was a bit worried because of my chickens that I might have had a little rat community in there, but pleasantly surprised there wasn't. So yeah, I shifted all this, and it was probably about a ton, maybe a bit more probably, of material all the way up there with a wheelbarrow. And yeah, this is what I did when I was off camera. So as you can see, I've now got to get some shuttering, level it all off, level off this hardcore, and smash it all down, and then the hard work of cement mixing. And I'm not going to have a cement mixer to do it. I've just been and looked and hunted for my straps to strap the wood to the roof rack, so I'm good to go with that. I should unload all the kids stuff, but I don't really have time. The day is slipping away. But yeah, all this clothes is good. It's all serviceable. It's come straight from the cupboard. It's been washed, but it's all serviceable. You know, a Christmas jumper there that's too small for the kids. This is all kid stuff really, too small, but you know, it'll all go into the recycling bit. Well, centre for the Salvation Army, and whatever they do with it, they'll do with it, I suppose. I've actually done the first proper clean on this car in a long time, since basically I've stopped harvesting all sticks and that. It was time to actually clean the car out. Yeah, it's going to probably take 2 or 3 cleans before it gets back immaculate, but yeah, it's good to actually be riding around in a clean vehicle. So we've just turned up in the supermarket, and we're right beside the actual bins or containers where you drop off all your clothes, and it does actually say shoes. I can't see anything that says what actually happens to it, but yeah, it looks like that we'll be able to deposit the bags of clothes in here, and hopefully some use comes out of, well, some use will come out of it for somebody who does actually need it. So yeah, I've got my helper here. He's going to help, and we're going to go and do this. And for helping load the stuff in the bins, he got some sweets, and my youngest has got some sweets as well. Yeah, you do have to bribe kids if you want them to do stuff. That's just the way it is, and the way it always will be. So yeah, thank God for sweets. Okay, we're going to make a move now, and we're going to head on down to Trego. Our stall is looking pretty vibrant there. Loads and loads of bright colours. Starting to get some of our red ones coming through now, and pinks, different colours. Well, I've made it to Trego, and you all love this place or you hate it. You can sit somewhere in between, which I like to think I do. Like I said, I'm going to get some cheap wood for some shuttering. It's not quality, you know, and it's going to do the job for me, and I'll repurpose that wood somewhere else for some other project. But yeah, I'm here at Trego, and I'm going to go and get some wood. I don't have all day, like I said, I've got other stuff. You know, sometimes you can just mooch around here, looking at all the various departments and things like that. But yeah, I don't have all day, so it's basically in and get the actual wood itself. But yeah, the the wife, I never knew this was a thing. It's called people watching, and till I was made aware that this actually was a thing, that you could actually, you know, I didn't even know this shall we say hobby or actual this actual thing actually was real. But yeah, people watching, sitting back with a cup of coffee or a pasty, just watching the world go by and watching people go about their daily business. And yeah, that can be highly amusing and entertaining. And like I said, I never knew it was a thing, but there's been some occasions I've sat back with the wife and, like I said, done people watching, and I found it quite entertaining. But yeah, people watching, possibly a new hobby for some of you guys as well. So this is what you're greeted with, and many thousands of people would have seen this. And this is it, the main store itself. And I shall be going in that far entrance to go and get my wood. So yeah, I'm going to get myself together and get out there and go and get this wood. Very tempting, very tempting. Now it's just to find what wood I want for the job I want. Obviously this is indoors wood, I won't be needing that. But I could do with something a bit longer than that. Tannalised, possibly. Basically I'm doing it on the cuff, as you can probably make out, so I'm just looking to see what I can utilise and at the cheapest price. I think I may just have found what I'm looking for here. Well, that wasn't too bad. I've got 3 bits of timber, they're all 2.4 metres in length, and yeah, I can't actually read the actual sizes of them, but I'll have a look at that when I get home. But I've picked them out based on what I think I can use to do the job at home. But yeah, 1554 for 3 lengths of wood, like I say, 2.4 metres in length. And yeah, I've got one piece which I've gauged the straightest I could find, which is I'm going to use to level off the actual pad. And I've got 3 to make the shutter in, and 2 to make the actual supports for the shuttering going into the ground. So yeah, I should be able to get away and produce the shuttering that I need to do this pad with that. So I'm very happy with that, and that's what I mean, you know, if you can utilise this place for your own benefit, you know, do so. Times are hard, and yeah, like I said, wood is expensive now, particularly good quality wood. I do know this wood that I've picked up isn't of any real quality, but it will serve the purpose for what I want, and I'm more than happy with that. Yes, I'm fully loaded. I've come out here and parked up. I'm going to grab a can of pop. Yeah, these 3 bits here aren't 2.4 metres, they're a bit smaller. I got that wrong, but yeah, I'm fully loaded, strapped on. I'm going to grab a can of pop, and yeah, we do have a pretty noisy cockerel over there on the bank, screaming its head off for no apparent reason. But yeah, all done and dusted, well happy with that. £15, can't go wrong. I've laid out the wood underneath my house and between the shed. It gets a bit of protection from the rain and elements. It's a bit underneath the cover and the overhangs. It's not ideal, but this wood is tannalised and it's rough wood, so I'm not too concerned about it. If it was building wood for, like, you know, stud walls and internal wood, I wouldn't even dream of doing this. But this will suffice and keep it dry enough for what I need. But I'm just going to take you to have a little look at something that I haven't mentioned yet, but I'll let you in on it now. Now this looks pretty disgusting, doesn't it? But these are old glass bottles. Now, there's a historic dump, shall I call it this way. It was a quarry at some point for the local community and farms to quarry stone for buildings and hedgerows and things like that. But during the, I suppose, the war periods and just after, they became the local dumps before all the environmental concerns took hold and legislation, shall I say. But in amongst that, you can actually find loads of bottles. Now, the one I've got here, you may not be able to see it. It says, what does it say on there? B&S, what's it? Products, Plymouth. Now Plymouth is I'm not local to Plymouth, but it's a town within a driving radius for me to go shopping and use as a big, well, city really. So, you know, that has a local connection and meaning. I've got to do research on what that one is. This one here is a local town just on the edge of Dartmoor, Oakhampton. Now, guns, it says, and I'm not sure what that is. But yet again, these bottles, you know, are not modern by any standards. And then you've got the old-fashioned milk bottles and things like that that have found their way in there. So, you know, it's all stuff that I've got to do my research and have a look at all these bottles and that. But yeah, a lot of these bottles no longer companies produce for their products. I'm not suggesting they're worth anything at all, but from a point of view of being able to collect a few, obviously I'm looking to do that. You know, they're just basically, where I'm getting them from, like I said, is extremely hazardous and dangerous doing it, and I wouldn't suggest anybody else don't do what I'm doing. But this old quarry, like I said, was an historic dump. But yeah, I'm finding a few glass bottles, which, like I say, I've got to check out the history, but they're definitely old enough to warrant some sort of like collectible value to myself. Right, in the old workshop toilet, it's not pretty in here, but I do have two that I've started cleaning out. I hosed them out as best you can. Got to bear in mind they've been sat there for, you know, years and years, so they get full of crud. So I've got this one I've hosed out the best I can. I've got bleach in it, and this is an old Corona drinks bottle. Or glass. Now, this here, interestingly, has the top. It would have been the old spring cap that goes on to seal it. So these are the old-fashioned type glass bottles. Yet again, I don't for one moment expect them to be worth anything, but they're just nice and collectible for a simple fact. I can remember brands like this myself, Corona, and even before my time, I suppose, these tops would have been in existence. But yet again, I've got to check the history out online, and I'm just fascinated by the fact these old bottles are still in existence and haven't been trashed. Just popped over to Goliath Falls so that the kids have a little run and a walk, and yeah, they're going to enjoy it. There's one. Right, find the penny you put in the rock, in the log, and hit it with it. There, it's right in there. Nobody can get it out now. Oh. Yeah, you've done it.
Look, this is ours.
That's yours in there, where Cody bashed it in. Look at that. That's an old mine shaft.
Minecraft?
Not Minecraft, mine shaft. That goes all the way underground. Goes very deep, deep, deep. I think you take your socks off. Yeah, but it's going to be cold in there. Do you really want to do that? Okay. I think it might be too cold for you though, Corey. I don't know why he wants to do this. I'm a bit baffled by this, but there you go. So this is Goliath Falls. It's a nice pleasant walk, pretty busy because it's holiday season, but I will come here and do a proper video and do a more in-depth walk when it's slightly less busy. So we've just come here to let the kids have a quick run. We're heading on somewhere else to get some food with the kids in a moment, but yeah, I'm just going to call it a day here now. This is Andy from Folklore Hiking Sticks.